Welcome to this week's Cattle Call. I'm Susan Littlefield. We're going to look at a variety of issues, including did the South settle too soon? And what about the North? I know some higher prices have been talked about. Does this all bring a characteristic of good markets? Where are our cattle on the weights? We know a lot of them. It's been, for the most part, some pretty good growing weather. And then we'll look at restaurant slowdowns and slow kills as well. So a lot of great factors. As you can see, joining me on the screen is Brad Kooima. He's with Kooima and Varlick out of Sioux Center, Iowa. So let's start out this. Did the South settle too early this week, Brad?
Well, I thought so selfishly. I mean, I was a little surprised with the basis as wide as it is. Usually they're pretty tough basis traders. Feb cattle near 115. That gives them a $3 basis. That's a little bit wider. I guess I thought that they could have waited till today if that's what they were going to do. I think most of us had hoped that they were going to trade a dollar higher or so at 113, maybe even with an outside shot at 14. But it is what it is. So I think that's part of the reason why the market's a little softer today too, and probably the reason why the Feb cattle yesterday were the only softer month of the deal up there as well. So on that topic, the North was a little higher. I think there's some trade to go still in the North, Susan. But cattle traded at 176 and 77. So we've breached a little bit that gap between the North and the South. The South obviously has been a premium to the North for a while, quite a while. Maybe all the way since the beginning of the worst parts of COVID. And in my view, as the old guy here, I think that when the North is premium the South, that's a characteristic of a good market, a bull market. I think that sometimes in the North, maybe we are not quite as good at staying as timely with our marketings. As disciplined, maybe would be a better word. And some of that's because it's the nature of the Southern feeding business, where they're formulas and they know when they buy them the day they're going to die practically, But here we have a tendency to maybe, be impacted by the weather, which has been nice. So the cattle have outperformed. So anyway, as we bring this back and balance a little bit, I'm a little encouraged that the North is very close now to on par with the South. So that's a positive step, I believe. And I'm really not bearish. So.
Is there concerns, though, because we've had such great growing weather for these cattle, that they might be getting too heavy?
Been a problem for several weeks. The reality, and I'm a cattle feeder too. You bring cattle to town and you look at your tracking sheet and they go, okay, we had so many days, this is how many they ate, how much they ate. We think they weigh about this, and then they come back and they weigh 50, 75, sometimes almost 100 pounds more than what you thought, because the performance has been just outstanding. The weather has shifted a little bit here now, of course, since Christmas week. And so I think some of those extraordinary gains have slowed up. So I'm anxious to watch what's going to happen here to the weights. Seasonally, you'd go into the yearling crop, the weights would go up. Now, yesterday, every Thursday, you get the whole weight picture. It takes us 13 days to get it. You've heard me gripe about this. We passed policy, nothing seems to change yet. The USDA is supposed to be working on it. But okay, so yesterday's weight data, finally for the first time, average steer and heifer carcasses were 885. A week ago, 894. That's a pretty good drop, 9 pounds. A year ago, same week comparison was 879. So we're still 6 pounds over a year ago, but significantly lower than the week prior. So at least, maybe we've tipped over that hill, and maybe we're going to start to see this weight decline now.
So is there concerns just add to that layer? Because you talked about some slower kill rates. That's just going to let that weights jump right back up.
Yeah, you're right. We're going to watch very carefully, whether we're getting enough cattle killed. This week has been the first week where we've had a little bit of that uneasiness, uncertainty. A couple of days where the kill was down 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 more than what you thought. We had a 115 kill there the other day. And there's been a couple of plants too that have had not major problems, but little problems with help maybe not showing up on time, different things like that. And, it could be just coming on the backside of the holidays. There's a couple of plants that are doing some repair stuff, dealing with some ammonia issues. I know that's going on today at one of the plants. Now, some of this is normal. I mean, you get these updates and these repair things, and the cynic in me would say, well, funny how it seems like when the market's finally starting to get a little better, right? That now they're not going to be able to kill tomorrow and whatever. I don't think yet that any of this kill slowdown or reductions is troubling me, but we need to be very, very aware.
So as we head into the second full week of trading in 2020, what are your thoughts for our cattle guys to keep an eye out for?
I think we got 60 days of worry yet. I think that you have a challenge here with cattle that are still plenty big, an uncertain demand picture because of the hotel restaurant trade, because of not sure exactly what kind of a national policy we may or may have here in terms of a more aggressive shutdown to some of this restaurant trade. So I think we got to swim a river of worry here a bit here for the next 60 days or so. Now behind this, I remain optimistic that the second half, particularly of the year, I think is going to be much better than what we're dealing with now. So I would say keep your bootstraps tied on tight here the next little bit. But down the road, I think the market's got potential.
All right, sounds good. Thanks so much for joining us this week, Brad.
You're welcome.
That has been Brad Kooima. He's with Kooima & Barlick out of Sioux Center, Iowa. Just a reminder that commodity futures and options involve substantial risk of loss, and they're not suitable to all investors. I'm Susan Littlefield.